Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Boniface Nyenyezi, and I'm an African from Malawi in Africa, the warm heart of Africa. Many times I worry about Africa. I worry about Malawi as a nation. I worry about future generations. As I was growing up, I never thought about devaluation. I never thought of strong winds like Cyclone Anna and Cyclone Freddy. I never thought of deforestation. I never thought of a situation where a government cannot control a currency. But at this point in time, I am worried. I am worried because the cost of living in Malawi is rising each day. Our government expenditure is growing every day. The Republican president doesn't care about the welfare of Malawians. Malawi is a poor country, but our leaders are so extravagant. They spend a lot of money on expensive vehicles. They travel a lot. They can't prioritize agriculture or mineral exploration. All they are doing is spend and spend and spend. We don't even have US dollars in our reserve bank. Hence, it is difficult for us to buy even fuel for our people. Very difficult to buy fertilizer for Malawians, local Malawians who are struggling, peasant farmers who just grow crops and rear animals just for consumption. It is worrisome to note that our priorities are upside down, because as a country we need to prioritize agriculture because that's the common source of income and it's the only way to survive. But look what is happening now. We bring in so many scrap vehicles in the country. We buy a lot of non-essentials like toothpicks, like matches. We bring in tomato from outside the country. Even the basic items. We can't process our own cotton. We can't even make spoons or anything small. Everything is imported in the country. Malawi is endowed with water, a lot of water, and a lot of arable land for farming. It is very difficult to understand why someone cannot think about prioritizing agriculture, where we look at our land as a resource and use it wisely. So we can grow beans and pigeon peas and rice, maize, sorghum, millet, and all other cereals that we can grow locally. And these can be used as a source of income. We can export as much food as possible to other countries who are struggling. And then we can use this money to develop our country. I was reading a brochure about the minerals that are found in Malawi. Malawi is endowed with so many minerals. Minerals like gold and iron, uranium, lithium, and many others that can be used to develop this country. But alas, it is surprising to see that no one worries about those. Why is it difficult for Malawi as a country to survive on its own? Why should we buy land cruisers and Prados and big vehicles for the government officials when we can't feed ourselves? Why should we have state banquets Why should we travel to other countries? Why should we spend a lot of money on non-essentials when the country is actually suffering a lot? It is my hope that one day we'll be able to produce a leader who is mindful of the people, who so desire that Malawi should come first, that we should restore the glory that has been theirs during Kamu's time, and probably do something even better than Kamus himself. But who can do that? In Malawi, where we live now, it is difficult to trust our leaders because they promise a lot but deliver very little. Let us give an example of Chakwera and Chilima, who promised a lot to Malawians. We have not forgotten what they promised. They promised that they will prioritize agriculture and they will open mega farms and Malawians will have abundance of food. But where are the mega farms? They promised that the passports will be cheap, but passports are nowhere to be seen. Neither are they cheap. They promised that water connection will be free. Electricity connection will be free. But are these things free now? They promise that loans will be given to Malawians who can run businesses. Where are the loans? They promise that the president will trim his power. Where is that happening? Has he yet trimmed his powers? He promised a lean cabinet. Do we have a lean cabinet in Malawi? Is it not obvious that this was a campaign gimmick? Is this not true that these people are liars and they don't deserve to be our leaders? Malawians, I call upon you all to wake up and arise from your deep slumber and find a place in your heart to change this government. This government cannot sustain us. This government is not honest. It is full of crooks who are unable to understand the plea of Malawians. All they are doing is plunder our resources. There is nothing new that they can tell us now. There is nothing they can do for us. All they are doing is stealing. Corruption is rampant. Martha Chizuma was recently arrested in Malawi because of her fight against corruption. This government promised that they would fight corruption. Are they fighting corruption now? This government told us that agriculture will be their priority, but they closed ADMAC, Agriculture Development and Marketing Corporation, which is a mother body that buys agricultural produce and also helps farmers to form clubs and cooperatives, and promised them that they would buy their agricultural produce to make sure that during time of hunger, ADMAC would be able to provide food supplements, foodstuffs that are suitable for the nourishment of our children, as well as to keep families safe from hunger. But now, agriculture has been handed over to vendors, local traders. They are now controlling the price of food items. What in a country should we allow local traders to control agricultural produce, where you don't know the price of foodstuffs, where the government has no control over anything? The price of things like soap, like clothes, the price of water has gone up, the price of electricity has gone up, the price of everything is going up. The kwacha is being devalued every day. And how do we intend to survive? We don't even have opposition in this country. Conrad Nankuma is doing nothing to control this. He is an opposition leader who is sleeping. Let's now talk about political parties. We know UDF was the first democratically elected political party in this dispensation, but UDF cannot find a successor. What Bakri did was to hand over power to his son, Atupele Muluzi, who has tried to stand as a presidential candidate 3 times and failed. And what in the world should we trust him? Because he has failed. It means politics is not his side. Now, DPP came over after Bakiri Muluzi. Pingwa Mutharika came and formed the DPP, Democratic Progressive Party. But as we look at the Democratic Progressive Party, it's not a democratic party because even succession cannot take place because one man wants to remain in power. Now let's talk about the Tonse Alliance, which I call the Botha Alliance. What is it doing to Malawians? It is even destroying those little resources that the DPP regime left behind. Are we benefiting from this alliance? No. I hope this is the reason why people like Kamusi Chiwambo came out of the Tonse Alliance and he remained in his party, the People's Transformation Party. So let us look for a leader who can take over this government, a leader who is honest, a leader who is upright, a leader who is corrupt-free, a leader who has experience, a leader who is honest. And I'm sure, as we speak, I don't think there is any other leader in Malawi other than Kamuzu Chiwambo who can probably be the torchbearer in 2025. And I'm sure he could be the only man who will lead Malawi out of continuous begging and poverty and malnutrition and poor education. I am sure that Kamuzu Chiwambo understands the economy because he has been an industrial lawyer. He understands the need for a strong currency. I am also sure that Kamuzu Chiwambo is aware of the ills that have been happening in Malawi. He was born during the time when the country was young, and he has grown up in politics. His aunt, Rose Chiwambo, was one of the pioneers in Malawi, pioneers to fight for freedom. And I'm sure through that experience, he has come to learn what Malawi is all about. I ask you, my fellow Malawians, to vote for Kamuzu Chiwambo come 2025.